Now, every once in a while, it is nice to explore your dark side. Well, on this show, we certainly like to mix things up every now and then, and so you have a very different setting this week on CNB. Welcome to a brand new episode. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Parthankar. We're coming to you this week from just outside of New Delhi at the Kingdom of Dreams. The car here with me today is the Volvo V40 Cross Country. Now, it was at the start of the year that we scooped the car for you, didn't we? So we're also scooping the India spec. The car is here now in India, it is available, it is launched, and we've got all the details on the variant that is driving here into the Indian market. The D3 is with us on the program. Let's bring you all the details.
The wait is over for the Indian market. The car we told you would come has arrived. The Volvo V40 Cross Country has been launched at 28.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi for the one fully loaded model that's being offered. No variants, no fuss, says Volvo, and nothing is optional for which you have to pay extra. It's all standard.
Now, this Scandinavian style statement does work for some people, and remember, Volvos used to be really staid, but this is the sexiest that they've ever been, and so we've talked about this, we've talked about the evolution, and we've shown you this car before as well, so I won't go on about the styling, but at that time I hadn't been able to show you the daytime running lights. They're down here and nice and bright, of course, right now, given the amount of darkness that we are in. But the reason to show you that is because you've got two separate sets of LEDs, if you will. So turn the car off, and then you realize that, well, at night you have a different signature set of LEDs that are part of the headlamp cluster. So two separate little indicators that this is the new look Volvo. That's nice, perhaps a little bit different from what you're seeing with the BMWs and the Audis, and so that's perhaps why I like that. Now, this is the cross country, so you get sporty elements. You've got this different tone given to the rear view mirror. You've also got this all black massive panoramic sunroof, which is again a nice luxurious touch, makes the car look sporty, as do these roof rails. And then when you come around to the back is where suddenly things dramatically change, because you don't almost expect to see this sort of a rear. The car is compact, sporty, and a little bit raised at the rear. And, you know, it's not really a station wagon, it's not really an SUV, it's crossover completely. And this is the part, I think, which makes the car look very different to what we have in our market. The other signature LED is back here. This is typical of Volvos again. The big hatch door at the back doesn't look so big because it's been separated up with a very slim paint section, and then you've got this black section, and then the bumper really comes up high, which again has been finished off in a sporty way, and the cross country badging is only embossed way down here. All of this looks fairly sporty. Not a huge fan of this raw copper color, as they call it, but in some of the other colors, blue and perhaps red, this is going to look really, really different. And yeah, I think a lot of people might take to its styling.
Yes, so it's different looking and has bold, in-your-face styling. Younger buyers will like that, and in fact, they're also going to like the stuff that the car is loaded with inside. Volvo is offering the choice of 3 leather trims: black, brown, and the inevitable beige. The cabin is well appointed, roomy, and has the advantage of seeming airier thanks to the massive panoramic fixed glass roof. You also get multiple airbags, which include Volvo's side impact protection curtains and a new driver side knee airbag. You also have a reverse camera, the park pilot, cruise control, heated power seats and mirrors. Yes, as I run out of breath, let me remind you, it's all standard.
Now, on the inside, of course, you are pretty much wrapped in luxury. Everything you can think of is standard on this car, because you got everything from leather to all the little embellishments, the really cool Scandinavian design with the floating control panel, more than a console, here in the middle. But the part that I want to talk about, again something that we can enjoy or appreciate a little bit better here in the dark, is the fact that you have different ambient lighting, mood lighting some people like to call it. And so you've got a wide variety of colors that you can actually quickly scroll through this menu and pick to just quickly change the kind of mood that the car has. And what's interesting is that it has this temperature mode, which means that it senses the temperature of the car and pretty much adapts the lighting mood with your environment. So, so that's nice, that's different, and a little personalization option that some people will like. The other option that I really like, you do have a virtual instrument cluster in this car, something we showed you last time, but what we didn't show you is that you can actually get in here and change the way this actually looks. So you got different themes here. You can go with the elegant theme, which is on air right now. Then you got the eco theme, which turns everything up just a little hint of green. And then you got the performance mode, where of course everything goes red, nice and sporty. And you know what? Something like that is quite a first, and something that I think, like the Jaguar XJ, will certainly get people talking.
Yes, that TFT screen cluster is cool, and so is the ambient lighting. All of this has been made standard only for the India spec, by the way. All of this is optional in Europe.
Now the D3 engine is fairly ample. The numbers are going to look good. I'll show you the specs in just a second, but before that, I want to quickly make a point about the pricing. 28.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Now that is not cheap. The reasons, well, there's a bunch of reasons for that. The first one is the fact that Volvo doesn't have local assembly, and which is why, remember that there isn't a pricing advantage. There's a direct full-on import duty being put onto this car. So given that, I think the price works fairly well. Now it is priced higher, just a little bit higher than the BMW X1. What you get though is a lot more in terms of equipment. It's really fully loaded, very luxurious, and very driver-oriented too. The problem is that the price difference between this and the Mercedes-Benz B-Class is a wide gap. Again, you get a lot more on this car than you get on that. And again, want to make that point that, you know, both BMW and Mercedes have that pricing advantage thanks to local assembly. What I am waiting for though is what happens in a few months' time, when you might get the regular V40, or you might get a slightly less spec'd version, both of the regular one or the Cross Country, and then those cars I suspect will be priced even more attractively. So let's see how many takers Volvo gets for this one variant.
The numbers are certainly ample, and the 5-cylinder turbo diesel D3 engine is a gem. This is the same block as the D4s in the S60 and the XC60, but with lower output. The transmission is a 6-speed automatic. The car drives ably, and we have already showed you that on CNB before. I do believe this is the right engine and gearbox choice for India, and the overall package, though pricey, is looking pretty formidable.
Quick burst of daylight here because we want to quickly try and catch a few comments on this car from the man who heads the business here in the Indian market. Thomas, good to see you.
Thank you very much. Same thing.
Welcome to the show once again, and this time you've got yourself the new car we were talking about the last time.
Correct.
So congratulations firstly.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to start by asking you the question that we've been getting pretty much constantly on Twitter ever since I first spoke about the pricing and also the one variant strategy.
Yeah.
So firstly, the one variant, where does that thought come from?
Well, before launching the car, and we're doing this differently than the competition, we try to understand what is luxury and what is the customer looking for when he wants a luxury car. And we notice that many times customers always have to pay something extra when they buy the badge or the image.
There's a little asterisk that says these features aren't standard.
Exactly, exactly. So what we decided to do with the V40 Cross Country was to, just for the Indian market, so it's different from what we do in US and Europe, is to fill the car with every single option possible, and we're introducing it as a standard for the Indian market.
Now, the Indian buyer, of course, is legendary, known to always want the best deal and the best value possible. So I can tell you, I was surprised. A lot of people, especially on Twitter, I know a lot of you wrote in saying, you know what, that's a smart idea. Of course, there are lots who still want you to do lots of variants. They want a base version. They want one, without the roof, without the ambient lighting.
Yeah.
Is that plan sort of on the anvil at all?
No, for the moment, no. We will stick with the one variant strategy with the fully equipped car. I think it's a different kind of strategy, and I think we could actually have a winner if we see that customers will start comparing when they look at our competition, and if they would compare what they get and what they don't get. I think that we have a very strong case in India.
What does Volvo officially call this body style? I mean, this isn't really a wagon. This isn't. I mean, let's just take a look at the car from the side. We don't have something like this in the Indian market right now. So,
yes.
So what do you call this?
Within Volvo cars itself, there's a lot of people who are actually wondering what's it. But our official thing is Cross Country.
So you call that the body style as well?
Yes.
Why did you decide not to do the regular V40, and why did you decide to bring in just the Cross Country?
For the moment, we're only bringing the cross country, and part of the reason was we think that the cross country is better suited for the Indian mentality and for the Indian customers. This does not exclude the possibility that in the near future or in the coming years that we will actually bring also in the sister car, the V40.
Why I'm excited is because this is the first time the V badge steps into the Indian market. For years we've been asking you about the other larger station wagons as well. And I know that you've mentioned to me that, you know, maybe the Indian market isn't ready. But you've gotten a pretty good customer response. I mean, I know a lot of your dealers have been coming back to you with good feedback. Is that encouraging?
Very encouraging. We may be exceeding our own expectations. Currently, as I understand, we have around 70 orders from the dealer network. We will be launching.
And that's before the launch.
Yeah, exactly. And we will be launching the car now in every city in the coming 2 weeks, and I expect that orders to increase.
And first year, I mean, do you have like a target? Because there's also going to have to be an allocation, right?
Correct.
From headquarters?
From headquarters this year, we've been allocated around 120 cars. We will be able to perhaps add a couple of units on that, maybe 30, 40 units, depending on the demand. For 2013, we think that this car will represent around 15 to 20% of our total sales.
Oh, that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
What happens in 2014? Because I know that your larger strategy also steps up the pace in 2014. You'll have a much wider dealer network in place by then as well.
Correct.
And you know, you'll probably have those updated cars coming in, the ones we've been seeing at the global motor shows.
Yes.
So, so what's the overall volume outlook and also for the whole business? Will it be a similar sort of a percentage next year too, you think, for this car?
Well, I would say yes, it will be around similarly. But what I would like to say is that next year we will be introducing the new S60, the new XC60, and we'll also be introducing new engines, new gearboxes. The new Volvo engine architecture is coming in place, so it's all very exciting news. We will create smaller engines, 2-liter engines and 1.6 4 cylinders, but with power output of a V6 or a V8. Less fuel efficient, more fuel efficient, better for the environment, but also you get that torque. So that's a new technology of engines.
And that's exciting stuff, because I think that's where the market seems, or rather the industry seems to be headed to. Product-wise, this is of course, I know, just come in, so it's greedy of me to ask you, but besides the 2 upgrades that you mentioned, all new products, what else can we expect?
We have some new cars coming in, but at the moment I will not be able to give
also
specific details on them.
I knew you'll say that, and there's also some generation changes that are coming, so we won't talk about it just yet.
Yes.
You'll of course have details from us very soon. One last point then, you've got a Tika on your forehead today as well, from the opening of your latest dealership.
Correct.
How crucial is it to keep that going? Because every time we meet, I know I get an update from you on your dealer status, but expanding the network, seeing more cars on the road, that's crucial.
It's crucial. It's crucial. We are still a small player in the Indian market, but it's crucial. This year we have opened already 3 dealerships, and we have also agreed on Kolkata. So Kolkata will be up and running by end of the year. And we also have Vizag. Vizag will be also opening up within a couple of months' time. It is crucial to create a footprint in India, but it's also crucial that we choose the right partners. So we are not going at the same speed as perhaps some other car manufacturers, but we're doing it our way. We make sure that the dealers that we choose, the partners that we choose, is for the long-term partnership and a very well, that we have the same kind of philosophy when we're talking about Volvo cars.
Is there still a thinking that, and I know there's no decisions on this, so I don't expect you to give me a specific answer, but is there still a sort of a thinking within the headquarters that we're going to watch the Indian market and not rule out the possibility of, you know, suddenly accelerating, suddenly looking at a CKD operation? Because I know that things are still nascent, but as your dealer network ramps up, your demand is going to ramp up too.
Correct, and our long-term strategy is to gain around 15% of the luxury car market, which would translate, we think, around 20,000 units by 2020. But currently, I mean, we do CBU cars. We're able to price our cars competitively in the market.
Which is very surprising to your rivals.
We can still do 20,000 cars with CBU as well. We do that in many countries around the world. Does it make logic? Perhaps, and perhaps in the long term there will be a decision on that. But currently, I can tell you that there is no decision on a.
It's not being ruled out. I mean, this is something you'll just wait and watch.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now we've got a little something here. Let me reach out to that. They've been kind enough, Thomas and his team, to lend us a few of these because you know what? If you can't have the real thing, sometimes it's nice to have the scale model, and I know I value these a lot. So let's make it a little bit difficult for them, maybe.
Fine.
So you got to tweet me the answer, but the question will come from Thomas.
All right. Are you ready? The question is the following: how many different types of colors do we have in the ambient lighting inside the car?
All right. So how many kinds of ambient lighting? Remember, we showed it to you. So we want to know exactly how many colors. You know how to name the colors? Just give us a number and send me a tweet at Sid Partner. And you know what? Some of you are going to receive these in case you have the right answer. So something for you to look forward to there. And it's also done in raw copper. So
Yeah.
very much like your positioning
Exactly.
car.
Yes.
Signature color. Thomas, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for these and thanks for sharing your time and
Very-
all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome back to CNB. As you know, we are coming to you this week from the Kingdom of Dreams, just outside of Delhi in Gurgaon. And joining us now is the star of the show, Hussain. Thank you so much for being on CNB.
Pleasure having.
And first up, let me congratulate you. 1,000 shows. You've just hit that this weekend. So
Yeah.
how does that feel?
Oh, absolutely amazing. It feels like actually it's a dream come true, you know. And as the place is called Kingdom of Dreams, you know, there's one dream that I think Viraf, the producer, had, and I still remember that very first day when we did the first show, and he said, "Wait for the 1,000 one," and it did sound a little unbelievable, to be very honest, you know, because one, I think we have not seen something like this in India before, and for it to achieve this,
So there's no benchmark really
there's
also.
no benchmark, and you know, we've not heard of a theatrical doing 1,000 shows and things like that, but yeah. It's 3 years now and it's there and it really feels great. Yeah. Hats off, kudos to the team for pulling it off every day.
Yeah, it must be difficult to do that. It sounds easy to say it, but you're also sort of synonymous with Zangura, right? So, I mean, people must recognize you as Zangura now in many ways.
I did really find that odd because I remember the first time when, you know, we had something coming on television and I was telling my mom that, you know, I'm just going to be coming in, you know, Zangura, this is the thing I'm doing. And it came and it passed by and she's like, "Where are you?" I said, "Oh, that was me." So, you know, I had I had long hair and there's a get up and things
There's
like
a whole
that.
garb.
But it so happened that when I moved out in Delhi, I was staying staying a bit in Delhi out here. I went to see a film in a mall, and a kid comes up, you know, running up to me and say, "Hey, you Zangura." And I shared that with Raf, and I said, well, this was something that we were hoping for, because what happens is that people start relating to you and to your work that you've done. Is when you know that, okay, you know, they're liking the stuff, and they kind of, it's there in their memory now, you know. So that's
that's gratifying for sure.
Yeah.
So 1,000 done. What happens next? I mean, another 1,000, or do you modify the show?
I don't know. No, you know, I don't think we really need to modify. Maybe songs, but that's again far-fetched. Not really thought about it as of now. Yes, we would definitely love to travel with the show, and I don't know. This place is here to stay. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. It's going to create history, is what I feel. And like, you know, how we've been hearing about shows of the Phantom of the Opera, the Lion King. So maybe 10 years down the line, you know, they might be talking about Zangura and Jhumru the similar way. So, and yes, you will have a lot more shows coming in, that's for sure, because the place is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been designed wonderfully. And,
as we can see.
Exactly. And in the theatre, in fact, a lot more.
Even more,
Even more.
Yeah.
So it just gives, you know, a platform to showcase a lot of talent, as we all know that how India does have, and you know, a lot of talent. So it's just time. It just started now. You'll see more content-driven shows, more kind of these kind of performances, live performances coming on this stage for sure.
As we are speaking, of course, our audience is seeing little clips of the show, so you get a little sense of what Hussain was just talking about. Very different setting for an automobile program to be. We, of course, brought in the new Volvo V40 here.
It looks good.
Yeah, we thought we'll just surprise viewers by using this sort of a, grand backdrop.
Right.
Are you a car person at all? Car, bike, whatever?
Not much, to be honest, because I live in, from Mumbai, and there's hardly that you can really...
Yeah, you are a public transport person.
You can't really speed up a lot, and so I feel that you have cars, but what happens is you can hardly use the features. To use the features and to really enjoy the car, you need to go to the Pune Expressway. So, and that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah. Well, we've been in Delhi now for some time, so maybe we can...
Delhi, yes, of course. I think if I was in Delhi, I would have still probably more inclined towards car and bike, because you have broader roads and there is traffic, there is no doubt, but at least it's still moving.
Any aspirational car brands or any bike that you think is cool? Anything that sort of caught your eye or caught your fancy?
The BMW ones were very, very good. That's
sporty.
Sporty ones, and I did managed to get into one of the showrooms also, and I realized that I should buy one, but I only thing was that I had seen a couple of them, 3-4 of them lying still in my building, and which are totally unused, and they said
that's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. So they told me, you go ahead, you buy it, but this is what is going to happen to your bike too, because it's not friendly. It's not friendly out here in our cities to drive them or to ride them.
Well, we hope that changes, because at least with some of that highway culture coming in, hopefully that changes. What are your immediate plans? Besides the show, what else keeps you busy?
Well, it's again, you wait for the right project to come your way. To be honest, there are certain expectations from yourself also, and you wait for the right project, the right time, and that's what I did with Kingdom of Dreams too. Years back, I remember when I was doing television for quite some time.
Yeah, a lot of it.
A lot of it, yes, of course. And I just said that let's wait for the right project to come your way. So you had your time, and that is when Kingdom of Dreams happened. And I never thought about it. I still remember when I was seeing the show in Vegas at one point of time, and I was just thinking to myself, I said, why not? Why don't we have something like this in India?
And we've never had it, so it's nice to have that.
I was so happy, to be part of the very first show of something like that. So similarly, you just wait and see what kind of project comes your way. Yes, films are definitely on my mind, and working towards it, meeting the right kind of people, waiting for the right script still.
All right. So in the meanwhile, of course, I know this will continue to keep you busy. So great milestone. Many congrats from all of us. Thank you for also coming out here and just spending a little time with us.
Oh, thank you for having us on the show, and thank you for taking it to the viewers and letting them know that yes, we finished 1,000 shows.
Now, again, I'm sure they're all going to join me in congratulating you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You take care. All the very best.
Thanks.
All right. So 1,000 shows. That's certainly no mean feat, because remember, as Hussain mentioned, this is the first time that something like this was done in the country in the first place. So yes, we thought we'll show you something a little bit different on the program today, but we will not forget what we always do on the show, and so which is why after that little interlude, we're going to go straight back into our world of wheels. Now, we're also going to bring you a little bit of sunshine on the program. A little different, right? The setting today, all of this darkness. Well, we're going to go across to the sunny southern part of the country. And a few days ago, we had the new updated Nissan Micra that I was tweeting about. Well, Bala had the chance to actually get closer to the car. So here's a look at the review of the little update, facelift, whatever you want to call it, and of course the automatic version of the Nissan Micra.
A minor upgrade, but one with major hopes for the 4th generation Nissan Micra. And so, since it could possibly do with some divine intervention, what better place to drive the tweaked car than the temple town of Madurai? When the 4th gen first debuted in July 2010, it didn't really make a very big impression on Indian buyers and has always struggled since against the big boys of the compact car segment like the Swift, the i20 and even the VW Polo. But Nissan hopes the updated Micra will now get a bit of a fresh start. In fact, to prove how important India is for this car, we're getting it ahead of Europe. Don't forget the logistical fact that the car is made in India for Europe too. So basically the right-hand drive cars are ready and the left-hand drives will be ready soon enough.
Now, a facelift is considered by many as small cosmetic changes to an existing car just to generate some new interest and appeal. But Nissan clearly has gone the extra mile with the new Micra that's going to be launched in the Indian markets very soon, at least with the kind of design that it wants you to think that it's actually a brand new car. Also, it loses a lot of its ladylike character of the old Micra. It's really from the front that the new Nissan Micra really shows off its new looks, especially with these sharper, bolder looking headlamps. Also the bonnet as well as the bumper has gone in for a complete makeover. New fenders here. Also the bumper gets a new grille with this V-shaped chrome V-bar here. Also the chrome touch continues well into the lower part of the bumper. Also you have these new fog lamp housing. Also interestingly, Nissan has decided not to give the CVT the fog lamps, but it's on the diesel premium variant. Now from the side, the new Micra pretty much looks the same except for these new alloy wheels which are available on the top-end XV variant. Also the overall length of the car has gone up by about 45 millimeters compared to the older car. As we come towards the rear, what really stands out are these new LED tail lamps which really stand out a little bit too much for me. Also the bumpers changed completely. Not as much as the front one, but there has been some changes. Also the hood comes well into the bumper. Overall, Nissan will be glad that they went in for this huge makeover for the Micra and making it a lot more upmarket. And this new design language will certainly appeal to a lot more younger customers.
The car essentially has more of a global Nissan face now, but the more butch looks infringe a bit onto Renault Pulse territory in our opinion. Despite the car's overall length going up marginally, the wheelbase stays the same, which means no change in cabin space. But then space was not the problem in the 4th gen. But what has changed? Well, the cabin now feels more premium and it's also more feature-rich. The new central console is dressed in glossy piano black and also sports a new music system. Yes, it's got the USB interface and Bluetooth connectivity, and there are buttons to control all of that on the steering wheel. You also get some flashes of metal on the gear knob and the door handles, and in keeping with facelifts, the seat fabric is also new. And the top-end diesel variant gets a reverse camera. So fair bit is new after all, eh?
The new Nissan Micra Avatar will be launched in automatic with the famous Nissan Xtronic CVT gearbox in the 1.2 petrol engine. Having driven it on the Scala and the Nissan Sunny recently, I've quite enjoyed driving the CVT and I'm hoping this one drives equally well.
The continuously variable transmission or CVT is still not a major seller for both Nissan and Renault on the Sunny and Scala respectively, so it could well be a while before the Micra CVT gets going too. The CVT is being offered only in the XV variant of the 3-cylinder 1.2-litre petrol model. The output is 76 bhp, and like the Scala and Sunny, Nissan claims the mileage on the Micra CVT is higher than the manual variant at 19.34 km per litre. The drive feels like the existing cars, though there is some tweaking on sound insulation and the suspension. The CVT gearbox is smooth, yet it feels a bit sluggish, but then that's a matter of also getting used to the CVT as opposed to a regular automatic. Expect the new Micra to hit Indian roads by the end of June with a revised price list across the petrol and diesel variants. Pricing will also be key on the CVT, and our guess is an aggressive price tag of between 6,25,000 and 6,50,000 rupees ex-showroom. That's about 75,000 rupees higher than the manual XV variant.
So how did you like our rather special look at the Volvo V40 Cross Country and of course this location, the Kingdom of Dreams? React to all of that, react to the all-new CVT version of the Nissan Micra as well that you saw on the program. And you know what, while you consider this particular one variant only special from Volvo and of course the new updated looks of the Micra, I want to leave you with some more food for thought. I have a car with me that many of you want details on. It is the TDCi or diesel version of the Ford EcoSport. Some of you saw me tweeting about it, so you're not surprised to perhaps see this with me. But all the details on it, well, that's something I will only reveal on the program next week, so something for you to look forward to. Where it fits into the market is also something we will discuss. In the meanwhile, please wear your seatbelts, please wear your helmets. I will see you next week.